Ladies and gentlemen, the moment your eyes open in the morning, you are already faced with one of the most important decisions of your life. Do I choose to embrace this day with joy, or do I let negativity, stress, and frustration take control? That decision shapes everything. Happiness doesn't arrive wrapped in a perfect package. It comes from your mindset before your feet even hit the floor. When you wake up, you may not have everything you want. You may not be where you thought you'd be. But happiness isn't about waiting until life is perfect. If you keep waiting for circumstances to line up before you allow yourself to be happy, you will never get there. Happiness is the decision to say, I'm grateful, I'm ready, and I'm going to enjoy this day, no matter what. Most people roll out of bed already complaining. They talk about how tired they are, how hard life is, how much they hate their job, and without realizing it, they set a negative tone that follows them all day. But when you start your day with the choice to be happy, you shift your focus. You are telling yourself, this day is a blessing, and I'm not going to waste it. Happiness doesn't mean ignoring your problems. It doesn't mean pretending that struggles don't exist. It means saying, yes, I have challenges, but I won't let them rob me of the joy of living today. That's the choice you have every single morning, and it's one of the most powerful choices you will ever make. Think about it. Two people can wake up in the same situation, and one can be miserable while the other is joyful. The difference isn't in what they have, but in what they decide to focus on. Happiness isn't a result, it's a choice. And you have to make that choice daily, especially when life gives you reasons not to. When you choose happiness in the morning, your day flows differently. You walk differently, you talk differently, and you handle problems different. Your energy attracts better opportunities, better conversations, and better outcomes. That's the power of making the choice early, before the world has a chance to pull you in another direction. So when that alarm clock goes off, don't just think about the time, think about the choice. Say to yourself, I'm choosing happiness today. That decision may not change everything around you instantly, but it will change the way you experience everything around you. And that shift is life-changing. The biggest mistake people make when they wake up is dragging yesterday into today. They wake up thinking about the argument they had, the mistake they made, the bill they couldn't pay, or the opportunity they missed. It's like carrying a heavy bag into a brand new room. You can't enjoy what's in front of you because your hands are full of what's behind you. Every new morning is a fresh start, but too often people sabotage that gift by replaying the past before the day even begins. When you let yesterday's struggles dictate today's mood, you are robbing yourself of the very thing you need, peace. You can't fight new battles if you are still drained from old ones. That stress you carried last night doesn't deserve to have authority over your morning. Problems have a way of sticking in your mind, but you have the power to break the cycle. The moment you open your eyes, remind yourself that yesterday is finished, and today is untouched by what happened. Think about how unfair it is to your new day when you started already defeated. Imagine if someone gave you a blank sheet of paper, but instead of writing something new, you keep scribbling the same mistakes from yesterday on it. That's how many people live their mornings, repeating the same stories, the same worries, and the same regret. But if you truly want happiness, you have to let the old page go and start fresh with the nut. Carrying yesterday into today only doubles the weight you feel. You already have enough to face in this new day. Why add the burden of what's already over? You cannot change what happened yesterday, no matter how much you replay it in your mind. What you can change is how you respond today. And the best response is to release what's behind you, so you can embrace what's ahead of you. Every time you open your eyes, you have been given another chance. Yesterday's problems were yesterday's lessons. They taught you something, but they don't need to own you. Holding on to them is like wearing yesterday's dirty clothes into a brand new morning. It doesn't fit, and it doesn't belong. A new day deserves a new mindset. Happiness will never come if your mornings are controlled by regret, anger, or pain from the day before. That doesn't mean life is easy. It means you don't allow the past to poison the present. It means you rise above the weight of yesterday by making space for joy today. You can't start a journey if you are stuck staring at the road you've already walked. When you wake up, Stop dragging yesterday's baggage into your today. Stop rehearsing conversations that are over. Stop stressing over decisions that can't be undone. And stop punishing yourself for what didn't work out. Your day deserves a chance to be brighter than yesterday, but it can't shine if you cover it with the shadow of the past. When you wake up in the morning, the very first thing you should acknowledge is that you are alive. That alone is enough to be grateful for. Some people didn't wake up today, but you did. The air in your lungs, the heartbeat in your chest, the ability to move, to see, to hear, that's already proof you are blessed. Gratitude doesn't start with what's flashy or expensive. It starts with the basic things we take for granted every single day. Too many people overlook the simple blessings because they are too focused on what they don't have. They roll out of bed complaining about money, about bills, about work, and they completely ignore the fact that they have a bed to sleep in, a roof over their head, and food waiting in the kitchen. Happiness can't grow in an ungrateful heart. If you want joy, you have got to learn to see the blessings that are already sitting in front of you. Gratitude shifts your perspective. Instead of saying, I have to go to work, gratitude says, I'm thankful I have a job to provide. Instead of saying, I wish I had a bigger house, gratitude says, I'm thankful I have a place to stay. The words you use reflect the way you see your life, and the way you see your life determines the happiness you feel. Gratitude changes complaints into appreciation, and appreciation builds happiness. Every single morning, take a moment to list what you are thankful for. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Be thankful for the sunlight coming through your window. Be thankful for the people you love. Be thankful for the opportunities waiting for you today. That little habit of gratitude trains your mind to focus on what's good. And when your mind focuses on what's good, you naturally feel happier. Gratitude also kills envy. You can't be thankful and jealous at the same time. When you are truly grateful, you stop looking at what other people have and start appreciating what God has placed in your life. Comparison robs you of happiness, but gratitude builds a fence around your joy, so nothing can steal it. The more you practice gratitude, the less room you give for negativity to live in your heart. Happiness doesn't come from getting everything you want. It comes from realizing you already have more than enough. Some of the happiest people in the world don't have much, but they are grateful for what they do have, and that gratitude fuels their joy. Meanwhile, some people with plenty are still miserable because they never stop to say thank you for what's right in front of them. Gratitude is the difference maker. When you open your eyes in the morning, before you complain, before you scroll your phone, before you think about problems, stop and say thank you. Start the day with appreciation, and you will notice your heart feels lighter, your mind feels clearer, and your spirit feels stronger. Gratitude isn't just a habit, it's the foundation on which lasting happiness is built. We live in a world that tells us happiness comes from having more money, more cars, more houses, more recognition. But if that were true, why are so many people with everything still unhappy? Happiness doesn't come from stacking up possessions. It comes from making a difference. The deepest joy in life doesn't come from receiving, but from giving. From knowing your presence made someone else's life a little brighter. Think about the last time you helped someone. Maybe you held the door open, gave a compliment, or encouraged a friend who was down. That small act didn't cost you much, but it lifted your spirit. That's because giving is wired into our design. It fills us in ways material things never can. The world says get more to feel happy. But the truth is give more to feel alive. When you wake up in the morning, don't just think about what you need to get from the day. Ask yourself, what can I give today? It doesn't have to be money. It can be your time, your smile, your wisdom, or your kindness. Happiness is multiplied when it's shared. When you pour into someone else, you create a ripple that not only blesses them, but also returns to you in unexpected ways. The reason giving creates happiness is that it shifts the focus away from yourself. If all you think about is your problems, your lack, your struggles, you will always feel weighed down. But when you lift someone else, you forget about your own weight for a while. Helping others has a way of reminding you that you still have value, you still have purpose, and you still have something to offer. Some of the most content people aren't the ones with the most. They are the ones who constantly give even when they don't have much. A kind word, a helping hand, or a simple act of generosity can make someone's entire day. And when you see that smile, when you see that relief, something inside you lights up. That light is happiness, and it's fueled by giving. The world tries to convince us that happiness is locked up in achievements and possessions. But those things fade. What never fades is the impact you make on another person's life. Long after people forget what you had, they will remember how you made them feel. If you live to only get, you will always be empty. But if you live to give, you will always overflow. So as you step into your day, stop chasing happiness in things that can break, rust, or look for opportunities to give, whether it's encouragement, kindness, or even just a listening ear. The more you give, the more joy you will feel. Because happiness was never about collecting for yourself. It was always about pouring into others. One of the biggest reasons people wake up unhappy is that the very first thing they do is reach for their phone. Before they even thank God for another day, before they even breathe in the morning air, they dive straight into messages, news, and social media. And right there in those first few minutes, their peace is stolen. Instead of starting their day on their own terms, they started reacting to everything and everyone else. Think about what happens when you scroll first thing in the morning. You see bad news, drama, or somebody flaunting a life that makes you question your own. You read emails that stress you before you even brush your teeth. You are already filling your mind with noise, and you haven't even given yourself a chance to breathe. That's how our people begin their day drained, anxious, and overwhelmed, because they let their phone dictate the tone of their morning. Your mind is like a garden, especially in the morning. Whatever you plant first is what grows. If the first thing you feed your mind is negativity, comparison, and stress, that's what's going to spread throughout your whole day. But if the first thing you plant is peace, gratitude, and intention, your day grows stronger, calmer, and happier. That choice begins with what you allow in those first, precious moments after waking up. Technology isn't the problem, it's how we use it. The phone is a tool, but too many people treat it like it's the master. They don't even realize how much power they have given up just by checking it right away. Imagine starting your morning by taking control instead, stretching, praying, meditating, or just sitting in silence for a few minutes. That's how you reclaim your mornings and create space for happiness to enter. When you let your phone control your mornings, you are basically saying, other people's agendas are more important than my peace. That's why so many people feel behind before the day even begins. They have allowed texts, notifications, and updates to set the pace. But when you put the phone down and focus on yourself first, you are reminding your mind that you set the pace, not a screen. It's not about throwing your phone away. It's about creating boundaries. Start by giving yourself just 10 minutes in the morning before touching it. Use that time to breathe, think, write, pray, or move. Those 10 minutes will do more for your happiness than any notification ever could. The world can wait. Your peace can't. The words you speak over yourself in the morning set the direction of your entire day. If you roll out of bed saying, I'm tired, I'm broke, I'm stressed, you have already planted defeat before the day even starts. What you speak is powerful, and the atmosphere you create with your words becomes the environment you walk in. That's why you have to wake up speaking life, not death, over your day. Your tongue can build you up or tear you down. Too many people don't realize they are cursing their own day with the way they talk. They say things like, this is going to be a terrible, and then they are surprised when it turns out terrible. But it didn't just happen. It was declared. If you want joy, if you want peace, if you want opportunity, then you have got to start your day with words that align with what you want, not what you feel. Think about how different your morning feels when you wake up and declare today is going to be a good day. I am blessed. I am capable. I am ready. It shifts your mindset instantly. Even if you don't feel it right away, those words begin to work on your spirit. You can't control every circumstance, but you can control the words you speak. And those words shape how you walk into every situation. When you start your day speaking life, it also affects how you handle challenges. Problems will come, that's guaranteed. But instead of saying, I can't handle this, you will remind yourself, I've got strength for this. Instead of saying this is impossible, you will say, I'll find a way. The challenge may not change instantly, but your attitude toward it will, and that makes all the difference. Speaking life isn't just about positive affirmations. It's about aligning your mouth with your faith. If you believe you are meant for more, say it. If you believe doors are opening, declare it. If you believe today holds opportunities, speak them into existence. Don't let fear and negativity be the loudest voice you hear in the morning. Let your own voice be the one that uplifts you. Some people laugh at this idea, but that's because they have never tried it consistently. They think words are just sounds, but words carry energy. That's why one insult can ruin your whole mood, and one compliment can lift your whole spirit. If someone else's words can affect you that much, imagine how powerful your own words are when you speak them over yourself every single morning. When you get out of bed, don't just let your first words be complaints or frustration. Look in the mirror and speak life. Tell yourself who you are. Remind yourself what you are capable of, and declare the kind of day you are going to have. Because the way you talk to yourself in the morning sets the tone for everything that follows. One of the biggest reasons people stay unhappy is that they are chasing perfection. They want the perfect job, the perfect body, the perfect relationship, the perfect life. And when it doesn't happen exactly the way they imagined, they beat themselves up. The problem with that mindset is simple. Perfection doesn't exist. You will never arrive at a place where everything is flawless. And if that's the standard you are waiting on to be happy, you will never allow yourself to experience joy. Happiness is not about getting everything right. It's about recognizing that you are moving in the right direction. Progress is what fuels fulfillment. Maybe you are not where you want to be, but if you look closely, you will see you are not where you used to be either. That's progress. And progress deserves to be celebrated. Every small step forward is proof that you are growing, learning and building a better version of yourself. Too often people dismiss small wins. They will say things like, it's not enough, or it doesn't really matter. But happiness grows when you learn to honor those little victories. Woke up earlier than usual. That's progress. Saved a little more money this week. That's progress. Took care of something you have been putting off. That's progress. These little steps add up, and when you acknowledge them, you build momentum that keeps you moving forward. Perfection focuses on what's missing, but progress focuses on what's improving. That's why perfection kills joy. It always points out flaws. Progress, on the other hand, allows you to see growth. When you focus on progress, you begin to notice how much stronger, wiser, and more disciplined you are becoming. That awareness alone can spark happiness, because it reminds you that your effort is not wasted. The truth is, nobody has it all together. Not the people you see online, not the people you admire, not even the ones who look like they are living a perfect life. Everyone is figuring it out day by day, just like you. The difference between those who find happiness and those who don't is that the happy ones celebrate progress, while the unhappy ones complain about imperfection. When you shift your mindset toward progress, your mornings feel different. Instead of waking up thinking, I still have so far to go, you will wake up thinking, look at how far I've come, and I'm still moving forward. That kind of perspective sets you up for a joyful day, because it trains you to see growth in places you used to overlook. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can carry your own energy, or you can absorb somebody else's. Too many people let the mood of others decide how their day is going to go. One negative comment, one bitter attitude, one toxic conversation, and suddenly they are drained before their day has even started. If you are not careful, you will let other people's storms drown out your sunshine. Negativity is contagious, but so is joy. The difference is that negativity spreads faster, because people cling to it without thinking. Someone wakes up complaining and the next person joins in. Before you know it, the whole room is heavy with negative energy. That's why you have to guard your happiness, like it's a treasure. Protect your morning. Protect your peace. And don't let their words or attitudes decide your mood. You can't control how other people wake up, but you can control how you respond. If somebody wants to be miserable, let them, but don't join them. If someone wakes up ready to argue, you don't have to match their energy. Your happiness is yours to manage, and the moment you hand it over to someone else, you are giving them authority over your life that they don't deserve.
Sometimes negativity comes from the people closest to you, family, coworkers, even friends. That makes it harder, but it also makes it more important to stand firm. Just because you are around them doesn't mean you have to adopt their attitude. Happiness requires boundaries. It's okay to say, I'm not starting my day with that energy. Protect your space because your peace matters more than their drama. When you carry your own joy into the morning, it has the power to shift the environment. Instead of being pulled into their negativity, you pull them into your positivity. That's the strength of guarding your happiness. You stop being a thermometer that simply measures the room, and you start being a thermostat that sets the temperature. You will always encounter people who try to dump their problems, fears, or bitterness onto you. But you don't have to be their dumping ground. Start your morning with the decision that no matter what they say, no matter how they act, you are going to hold on to your joy. Your day is too valuable to be wasted matching someone else's bad mood. So as you step into your morning, remind yourself, your happiness is not for sale, and it's not up for negotiation. It doesn't belong to your boss, your spouse, your friends, or strangers on the internet. It belongs to you. Protect it fiercely, because the moment you let other people's negativity control you, you lose the power to create the day you deserve. So many people chase happiness in things: new clothes, new cars, new houses, new phones. And while those things might give you a spark of excitement, it fades fast. That high you get when you buy something doesn't last, because possessions can never fill the hole inside of you. That's why so many people have everything they thought they wanted, yet still feel empty. Happiness doesn't come from what you own, it comes from what you live for. Purpose is what wakes you up in the morning with energy. It's what gives your work meaning, your struggles value, and your sacrifices direction. You can't buy that at the store. You can't swipe your credit card and get it delivered to your door. Purpose is deeper. It's the reason you push through when life gets heavy. The reason you choose discipline over comfort. The reason you keep moving when others give up. When your life is driven by purpose, even the small moments feel different. Waking up early feels rewarding, not painful. Going through challenges feels like growth, not punishment. Even failures feel like lessons instead of defeats. That's because purpose gives everything context. It turns what looks meaningless into something powerful. The truth is, you will never feel fulfilled by possessions alone, because there's always something newer, bigger, or shinier out there. If happiness depended on things, then the richest people in the world would be the happiest. And we know that's not true. What keeps people alive inside isn't money or objects. It's knowing they are living for something that matters. Purpose doesn't have to be flashy, and it doesn't have to be loud. For some it's building a business. For others it's raising a family. For someone else it might be helping people, serving God, or using their talent to inspire. Whatever it is, purpose is personal. It's the thing that gives your life depth. The thing that keeps you from drifting through days without direction. When you are living with purpose, happiness comes naturally. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to buy it. It flows from knowing that your life means something. Possessions can decorate your life, but only purpose can fulfill it. That's why every morning, you need to ask yourself, what am I living for today? Am I chasing stuff, or am I chasing meaning? Because if you want real happiness, you have to stop measuring your life by what's in your hands, and start measuring it by what's in your heart. Your body and your mind are connected more than most people realize. When you wake up and just sit there waiting for motivation to hit, you are giving power to stagnation. Movement is energy, and energy is life. Even a simple stretch, or a short walk, can signal to your body and mind that you are ready to take on the day. Happiness is not just a feeling, it's also a flow of energy that starts in your body. The truth is, when you move, your brain releases chemicals that improve your mood. Endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine are all triggered when you exercise, and they are natural happiness boosters. That's why high people who start their mornings with activity often feel lighter, more focused, and more energized. You are literally giving yourself a gift before the world even starts demanding from you. It doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. Some people think you need to hit the gym for hours to see results, but even 10 minutes of stretching, jumping jacks, or a brisk walk outside can make a difference. The point is to get your blood flowing, to wake your muscles and your mind, and to tell your body that today is alive and you are ready for it. Movement also helps release tension that may have built up overnight. Sleeping in a cramped position or stressing in bed can leave your muscles tight and your mind heavy. When you start moving, your body relaxes, your energy shifts, and your mood elevates. That physical shift sets the stage for emotional and mental clarity, which is essential for a happy start to the day. Starting your day with motion builds discipline as well. You are telling yourself, I control my body, I control my energy, and I choose to act before I wait for motivation. That habit alone creates momentum for everything else in your day. When you take control of your body first thing in the morning, you send a signal to your mind that you are in charge of your life, not circumstances, not challenges, and not distraction. Some of the happiest people in the world have morning routines that involve movement, whether it's yoga, running, dancing, or just walking around their house. They understand that motion sparks life. Sitting still may feel comfortable in the moment, but it doesn't ignite the energy you need for a joyful, productive day. Movement is the starter motor that gets your engine running. So tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you think about your to-do list, before you get lost in worry or stress, move your body, stretch, walk, breathe, or dance, if you have to. That motion sets your energy, elevates your mood, and reminds your mind that you are alive, you are present, and you are ready to create happiness from the very start. One of the heaviest burdens people carry into the morning is resentment. They wake up thinking about what someone did to them yesterday, last week, or even years ago. Holding on to anger, grudges, and bitterness only weighs you down. The truth is, when you forgive quickly, you free yourself first. Happiness doesn't come from punishing others. It comes from releasing the chains that keep you trapped in pain. Forgiveness is not about letting someone off the hook. It's about reclaiming your peace. You don't have to forget what happened, and you don't have to approve of the actions that hurt you. But carrying that negativity in your heart steals your joy, drains your energy, and clouds your mind. When you forgive, you take the first step toward lighter mornings and brighter days. Many people hold grudges because they think it gives them power. They believe if I stay angry, they will feel my pain, and I'll win. But that's an illusion. Anger only controls the one who carries it. By forgiving, you take control back and stop letting yesterday dictate your happiness today. The moment you release the weight, you create space for joy, focus, and growth. Forgiving quickly also protects your health. Studies show that holding on to resentment increases stress, which affects your heart, immune system, and mental well-being. Choosing to forgive isn't just a spiritual act, it's a practical one. When you forgive, your body and mind relax, your blood pressure drops, and your energy becomes available for productive and positive experiences, rather than being drained by past grievances. It's important to remember that forgiveness is a process. You may not feel peace instantly, and you may struggle with letting go at first, but each time you consciously release anger, you are strengthening your ability to walk into happiness. Forgiveness becomes a muscle you exercise daily, and the more you use it, the easier and more natural it becomes. Morning is the perfect time to forgive, before your day is filled with distractions, responsibilities, and challenges. Decide to let go of the burdens from yesterday. Start your day lighter, and you will notice that tasks feel easier, people feel more approachable, and your mood stays elevated. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, and mornings are the ideal moment to unwrap it. As you open your eyes tomorrow, ask yourself, who do I need to forgive to be free today? Release it quickly, release it completely, and notice how your energy shifts. Your heart will feel light, your mind will feel sharper, and happiness will become more accessible, because you are no longer dragging old wounds into a brand new day. The way you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day. If you wake up and immediately drag yourself through a boring, uninspiring routine, your energy will follow that same pattern. But if you design a morning that excites you, something you look forward to, your whole day shifts. Excitement in the morning fuels motivation, focus, and happiness before the world even asks for anything from you. A morning routine doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as a cup of coffee and peace, a short walk outside, journaling your goals, or listening to a song that lifts your spirits. The key is that it's something you genuinely enjoy, and something that makes you feel alive. When your routine excites you, you start the day with energy, rather than dragging yourself through it like a chore. People often underestimate the power of anticipation. When you know your morning holds